Time Podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time Car Show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, we have Hemmings Sold Car Roundup and this week's Ford Recall Book.
What?
Jeff will bring us some car culture with the gangsters of NASCAR. And Mr. Mars reviews the 2025 Chevy Equinox EV. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Seekin, Chief Engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. So glad you could join us on this Saturday. What were you saying when we were in the commercial break?
He was saying how great my whole attitude is today.
No, I think that you were talking about something different in addition to that. You were talking,
about the car dealerships?
Yeah.
Oh, no, when you were talking about...
Yeah. Well, so when I had the news story about the guy driving cars, exotic cars at 130 miles an hour with the salesperson sitting, then going and taking pictures of it, you said...
I said there was a time back in the day whenever there was a guy, he would go to a new car dealership with his wife. He would pull up in the lot. She would jump out and set out on a hood.
But she was naked.
And she was naked. And he would start taking pictures of her on the hood of these different cars in the car dealership. And nobody ever called the cops. But I know of a guy. I know a guy that had two dealerships, and it was both dealerships they went to. Now, he did one salesman I heard got fired because he was in one of the pictures watching. He had a big grin on his face watching. He wasn't trying to stop him.
Well, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, but I don't. The problem was he got in the picture.
Becky, are you listening to this?
And she knows about it because she thought it was hilarious at the time. This was several years ago.
Uh-huh.
She had a much different sense of humor. But so people do crazy things.
Well, she's been married to you now for quite some time.
That's
so
a sense
clearly
of humor
has
there,
to have
yeah.
a sense of humor.
Absolutely.
It's just different, is all I said.
We heard what you said.
Good story.
That was a good. Yeah, I don't know why you didn't tell it when we were talking about it, but that's all right. It was worth.
Right.
It was worth the redo.
I remember some of the pictures. I'm kind of.
I bet you could probably go somewhere online and find that.
Maybe so. Now that you mention it.
Well, you're the big internet guy. Why don't you go for it? I know that's what you did.
And you've
at home.
done photography.
Were you the photographer, Mike?
No.
Mike?
Was not.
Mike? Okay, just check it.
He was the model.
He was the model at the dealership. All right. So, time for some recall news.
Yes.
BMW X3 for 2025, loss of rear brake function from brake fluid leak on your X3 for 25. Now comes the Ford section. And I do mean the Ford section. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Now, remember a couple of weeks ago, we had a Ford section.
We did.
We got another Ford section now.
One. Yep.
And they say, we have a real problem with quality control. Clearly, they have a problem. Because on the Ford F250 and 350 Super Duty for 2023, the front windows may fail to reverse direction. Well, Martha, let the dog stick its head out the window, and goodbye, dog. Won't go down. Loss of drive power from undetected low battery. Ford Bronco Sport and Maverick for 21, 22, 23, and 24. Rearview camera image may not display on the Ford Explorer, Lincoln Aviator, Lincoln Corsair, 2020 through 2023. Again, another Ford, blank or distorted rear-view camera image on the Ford Edge for 21 and 22.
Now, these aren't people issues of installing or assembling. These are product issues. This is the
That's what
actual.
this sounds like,
This is the actual camera.
Whatever. It doesn't make any difference.
I'm
you got to
saying,
take the damn car back.
Well, to that point, if you got a second, a lot of these cars are put together with robots. So it's not necessarily a human making that mistake.
No, but Ford has purchased products that are clearly not worthy of a car.
Yeah, understood.
Rear view camera image displayed incorrectly. I don't know what that means. Upside down, sideways, on the Ford Escape for 2025. These are new cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to Jeff's point, how do you quality control something where the problem doesn't show up for several years?
Yeah,
and a lot of those parts aren't even being made anymore. because they're
All
too
right.
old. The car's
So
too
then,
old.
okay, then how do you justify that statement? By the steering column shifter may detach on the Ford F250, 350, and 450 for the 2025 model year. Come on.
Well, is it assembled by a human? Is it assembled
Doesn't make
by
any difference.
Well, yeah, to that point, it really doesn't. But the quality control versus the assembly, the product quality control.
Right.
I mean, Ford can go check all the rearview cameras they want, but if the problem doesn't show up for 2 or 3 years of use, then I don't know how you could.
How do you make
that.
something that you don't test vigorously for months to make sure that we're turning it on and off? You know, you've seen the commercials. Well, we test the chassis of this car, and it's up on some sort of spring
it's
thing,
going
and
like this, yeah.
doing the jitterbug for days or weeks on end to see what falls off. I mean, don't you do that when you make something that you're going to have thousands and thousands of them? I would think that you would.
Or you got somebody up there saying, well, I bought it from you. I expect you to do that. And that guy that builds that camera is not going to spend the money to do that because he's not that big.
Unexpected vehicle movement. Ford Bronco, Explorer, F-150, Mustang, Ranger, Aviator, 24 to 25 model years.
It jumps.
Unexpected vehicle movement.
Does it jump sideways?
I don't know. It just all it says.
By lurches,
Unexpected
maybe?
vehicle movement. That's recall number 25V164 if you'd like to look it up and see exactly what it is.
25V16. Yeah,
that
one.
We're not done.
Oh, no, we're not.
Inoperative HVAC controls on the Ford Transit van 2022 to 23. Transmission may shift into neutral while driving on the Ford F-150 for 2021. So we're moving away now from Ford. They've had enough attention today.
Well, that brings up a thought on that.
Go ahead.
Well, is it a dial shifter? Is it on a column shifter? Is it a push button shifter?
Ford doesn't use a dial shifter.
Well, I'm just saying, what kind of shifter is it? Because that plays into why it's.
Well, I would like to think it's one of these shifters
You
that
think
are
so?
up here. Probably. You know, everybody tries to reinvent the shifter. Doesn't make any difference anymore because it used to be a mechanical thing.
Linkage,
When
all
you
that.
pull the drive thing down to drive, the shifter down to drive, and it would move levers down to the transmission. Now it's all electronic.
Sort of like your old slide on the air conditioning and all that. That was all
wires
wires
cables,
and rods.
My wife's 2015, it broke the shifter cable. It's still mechanical even then. I was surprised. I figured it'd be electronic, but it was still the plastic piece off the end of it broke off.
Maybe we should go back old school and start putting, instead of flying by wire all the time, do something mechanical. Put the rods back in.
I wonder how that would work on the new vehicles that we're taking to space, where they all sit in front of a computer console.
Yeah.
Lay down in front of a computer console. Reverse. Yeah.
It'd be pulling levers like a
I
roulette
think they got
wheel.
reversed in a rocket. I'm not sure.
Headlights can be misadjusted on the 2024 to 25 Jeep Wagoneer S. Loss of power steering assist on the Cadillac.
No.
ATS, CTS, Camaro, and Corvette 2016 through 2018. That's enough of that. It's a downer.
You mentioned the headlights being out of adjustment. It reminded me, used to, when you went and got your car inspected, they
Right.
would make sure they were
They
aligned
put
right.
it on a damn alignment machine.
Yeah, they put the suction
So
cup
my
thing in
wife's car, the headlights didn't look right, and I put it up against the garage, and I tried to measure it and all that stuff, and something just wasn't right. So I went and asked, how do I adjust the headlights? Well, you don't. You put them in, and you can adjust them up and down a little bit, but that's it. There's no. I said, so how do I test it? We don't do that.
On my
The
1970
dealer
on my
said that.
1977 Corvette, that was about the time that rectangular headlights started coming into popularity. And of course, that Corvette had 2 rounds per bucket, so 2 and
Yeah.
I thought, I want them to be rectangle.
Oh, boy.
So I had to go into the headlight assembly, take the headlights out, and take a grinder, and I did, and grind out the holes because they were round holes, and the actual headlight, the old round headlights, fit in those holes.
Into that bucket.
Yeah.
Well, the rectangular headlights did not fit in there, clearly. So I had to wallow out the holes. Oh, God. It was a nightmare. Then I had to take it and get it inspected. And the guy fiddled with the headlights and fiddled with them and fiddled with them and could never get them adjusted right. He finally said to me, I got it close enough. Check mark.
I'm glad I didn't know him back then.
Yeah. I had a 75 Chevrolet Silverado, and same thing. I wanted the square headlights in it. Except what I did was kind of cut that big truck headlight thing out and build a flat plate and cut little squares out in it.
You were smarter than me.
Well, I had more room to deal with. It wasn't just a little pop-up. I had the truck, the big truck.
Time now for Hemmings Sold Car Weekly Roundup,
Right.
where the boys get to guess how much the car sold for.
Is Jeffrey online?
Is Jeff with us? Jeff Heitzman?
Well, he was earlier.
Okay. Well, he may have had something to do. Maybe he had a dental appointment or something. Anyway, so here we go. First car up for bid and sold on Hemmings Sold Car Roundup is a 1963. Now, you think of a split window coupe. Well, this is not. This is a convertible, but still a 1963. It is a Restomod. This car has an LS motor in it, a 5-speed manual transmission, both tops on it with, one the cloth top and the other one the hard top. So a 63 Chevy Corvette. This is a C2 Corvette. Mm-hmm. How much do you think that car sold for? And for those that can't see the picture that we've got up, it's silver with a red interior.
It's a good-looking picture.
It's a good-looking car. Yeah.
Aftermarket chrome wheels.
Blood red
really
interior.
good-looking car.
Maroon. I'm going $72,000.
Ooh. Heitzman's at 29. Jeff, you're way off on this one. What'd you say?
72.
72?
Heitzman was 29.
Yeah, Heitzman's 29. I was going to go 75, but I'll even go 80. I really like the look of that car.
$142,590. Oh my God. Sir, you have way too much money and don't know what you're doing. It's a Restomod, friends. All right, let's bring it back to town, okay? A 1979. No, wait a minute. Did I skip one? I did.
Yeah. Oh.
So here's a 1978 Toyota FJ40. Now, this is that Jeep-looking thing that Toyota built back in the 70s.
Yeah, yep.
Okay? It looks stock. It looks like it just rolled off the factory showroom floor or whatever. So 78 Toyota FJ40. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, these are popular collectible items.
Yep.
Okay, go.
18,000.
All right. I'm going to go 55.
What does Mr. Heitzman say?
Well, he hasn't quite got in here yet. I think he's
Googling
recovering from
it.
the Corvette. He says 32.
32. Well, he's closer. This one here is $47,250.
All right.
I knew they were popular.
That's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're moving on
Going to the
to
crazy.
another Jeep. Okay. This is a 1979 Jeep J10. Looks like a half-ton pickup truck. I'm not too familiar with the actual
They
models.
didn't make a lot of them.
No. Well, you can see why.
I like the color.
79 Jeep J10.
And you know that's Arizona or somewhere in
Looks
the
a lot
desert.
like a Ford.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where do you buy parts for something like that? And it looks like it's a 4-wheel drive.
Oh, yeah. That'd
So
be the lock
where would you buy parts for a 79 Jeep J10? You got pickup truck parts. Oh, where?
That's why it's out in Arizona.
That's a Jeep J10. How much do you think that
I like the
went
wheels. I'm going to go 16,000.
I'm going 32. Heitzman says 35.
for? 18,670.
Dang.
And it's clean.
That's what I'm saying. It looks really good. The wheels,
Here's
everything.
one that is more popular than you think. I'm not a big convertible guy, but here is a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner convertible. It looks stock. See, it's got the Roadrunner emblem there on the door. It's got the what is that? The 383 hood on it.
Could be. It looks like the same mountain in the background too. From the
Okay, well, whatever. We ain't selling that. So, what do you think the 69 Plymouth Roadrunner convertible, orange in color, would go for these days?
42.
42. Mr. Mars?
I would say 28.
Okay. And
Heitzman says 23.
how about 43,575? Jeff, you got it. Okay.
Must be something under the hood.
Now, for you foreigners, I want you to look at this 2006 Maserati Quattroporte.
Oh.
And I threw this in there. I normally wouldn't, but I thought, well, some people like this Maserati stuff. 2006 Maserati Quattroporte. It's a four-door sedan, silver. Looks like it's got a red interior. It's a pretty nice-looking car, if you ask me.
37.
37. Mars?
I really don't know. 25, just because I got no clue.
Okay, 25. And what does Mr. Heitzman say?
85.
85,000?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
21,000.
Oh. We'll give that one to you, Mike.
But with the $21,000, you better have lots of money in your pocket to keep it in the dealership repair center.
Looks like it's in the garage right now.
67 Ford Thunderbird is our next item up for bid.
I'd drive that.
I know it. 67 Ford Thunderbird. Now, this is the big Thunderbird. That's a good-looking car, if you ask me.
Yeah, it is.
How much do you think that's sold for? Looks completely stocky, including the white walls.
Yeah, looks nice.
Very clean.
Flip up. I'm going to go 25.
25.
I'm going to go 18.
18.
Mr. Heitzman is still
trying
to figure it
Mr.
out.
Heitzman, you can't be looking up
49,000.
49. 27, 825.
He ain't looking up nothing because he has to be close all day.
All right. So the next vehicle up for bid is the 2006 Thor.
Oh, yeah.
4 wins. How much would a Thor 4 wins with, I don't know how many miles on it, a 2006 model?
Thor.
The thing is 20 years old. How much do you think you could get for something like that?
Thor. You could get hammered in that.
You could get really hammered.
I'm going to go $36,000. Not a penny more, Michael.
Yeah. How much you say? 36?
I said 36. That might be a little high.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Heitzman says 45,000. I was thinking more like 30.
Well, okay.
$21,000, and you get a bus that it comes with all the problems that it has.
Now that's a pusher, isn't it?
No, I think it's got a front engine.
Yeah,
in it.
20 years old. It probably is. It's got a radiator place up front.
Yeah. Well, that could also be a generator up there, or a slide-out generator. I don't know, but it doesn't make any difference. We're done with that.
We sold it for.
Next one is a 2001 BMW 740iL. This is the top of the line Beamer 4-door sedan, luxury out the wazoo. Hello, Wiener Schnitzels.
Ainsley would know that one. I'm going to go 42.
42.
Heitzman says 45. I wouldn't give you, 30. I'll go 30.
Well, Mr. Mars is the winner because it went for 31.5.
Very good.
I was going to say I'd give you $3, but
You owe me $1.
Yeah.
Man, I can only imagine the repair bills on that. All right. Just ahead, Mr. Mars reviews the 2025 Chevy Equinox, along with Jeff's car culture feature about the gangsters of NASCAR. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues after this break.
You've waited all winter, and it's finally here. The Tailpipes and Tacos Spring Cruise In. It's been a while, but the popular Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In returns to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, Saturday, April 19th. Make any donation to Shirley's Kids and get a free breakfast taco. There'll be mimosas and Bloody Marys, too. Get to the best cruise in of the year. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, April 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. Cruise in, make a donation of any amount, and grab a free Lupi Tortilla breakfast taco. Tailpipes and Tacos only happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, 703 West Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of the Katy Freeway. Join the car camaraderie, and your car will automatically compete for one of 3 chili pepper trophies at no charge. Spring is here, and what better way to celebrate than with a free taco at Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, April 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. We hope to see you then. Come on out. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Hey, In Will Time hits the road, literally, when we join the Hot Rod Tour of Texas, April 24th through the 27th. Check out our link to the website through inwheeltime.com. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate you. And time now for Jeff's Car Culture.
Yes.
Gangsters of NASCAR.
Gangsters. I was watching NASCAR last week, and there's really no tough guy anymore. There's the pseudo-tough people out there, and everybody gets a trophy. So this is what I came up with. They're out there. There's a bunch of guys out there that are tough, tough hombres. But this is what we got here. Racing is it's not about skill anymore. It's about attitude. Some drivers don't just compete, but they command respect lap after lap, no matter who's in their way. So these six fellas,
Darryl.
what we think, Darryl Waltrip, or Boogity 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 as we call him, wasn't just a fast talker. He was a fast mover on the track. He'd block, squeeze, and gamble his way to the front.
Yes, he did.
Always looking for a way to outthink his rivals. Whether it was a last lap fuel stretch or a bumper-to-bumper dogfight, DW with a win-at-all-costs mentality. So he was a nice guy, too. I met him once. The next one we have, another tough guy. This one's probably tougher.
Oh, yeah.
David Pearson.
Big man,
He
too.
was a master of the long game. He didn't always push early, but when it mattered, he turned up the wick and made his move. He knew how to outfox his competition, saves the best for the last laps, and leaving his rivals wondering, where did he come from? So that was a big discussion with that. The next one we have is Cale Yarborough. Now, Cale's a tough guy. This guy with his fists. Cale just didn't race. He battled. 3-time NASCAR champion with an iron will. He never backed down from a fight, whether it was on track or on the infield. Just ask the Allison brothers. He could muscle his way to the front and hold his ground like a bulldog with a bone. I like Cale. He was cool. Next one, he's a modern-day tough guy. Tony Stewart. Just didn't race, but he fought for every inch of the asphalt. A short-track brawler with a super speedway mentality, Stewart wasn't afraid to put the chrome horn to work or throw a helmet occasionally, now and then. His temper was fearless. Driving made him one of the toughest competitors of his era. Now, this one's questionable, in my opinion. I didn't like him before, kind of like him now, but it's Kyle Busch. NASCAR had a resident firebrand. It's Kyle Busch. Love him or hate him, he races like every lap is the last. No room, he'll make it. Rival in his way, he'll move him. Whether he's muscling his way through traffic or pulling off the last lap miracle, Busch is the definition of a high-risk, high-reward driver. And, of course, everyone knows the intimidator, Mr. Dale Earnhardt. If there was ever a driver who owned the track with an iron fist, it was Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
He didn't just race, he ruled. Whether it was a last lap bump and run or throwing a daring block at 200 miles per hour, Earnhardt made sure you knew he was there. Short track, super speedways, it didn't matter. If you wanted to win, you had to go through him first. So there you go.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Nice
Excellent
stuff.
piece.
Yep.
Okay. Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars has the Chevy Equinox to talk about.
Yes, and just to clarify, the Equinox can be either an EV or an ICE-powered. You can have
Gas,
one or the other.
Gas or electric.
Mm-hmm.
Gas or electric. And we were driving the Equinox EV LT. Now, this was a new model in 2024, so this is kind of an update. 2 trim levels this year, LT or the RS. So obviously we were driving the LT. Now, the final assembly for this vehicle is in Mexico. There's a lot of parts coming in from Canada, Korea, but the final assembly is in Mexico, and then it's imported into the United States. Now, this is a small SUV, It resides in the trim levels. It's just a little bit smaller than the Blazer EV as far as size goes. It is a 5-passenger. We had the blue and white color combination. To me, it was very beachy, very summery, very outgoing thing. Now, out front, you're going to find LED lighting, front rear approach, walkaway, flush door handles that extend automatically when you walk up to the car. Had heated side mirrors, bright chrome roof rails. Has an auto-sensing power liftgate, and it has the optional 21-inch aluminum wheels instead of the 19-inch standard wheels. Now, on the inside of it, you're going to find Evotech seating surfaces. The front row is heated and ventilated. Second row is heated on the outboard positions of the 60/40 split seat. Now, it is very roomy on the inside. It's got lots of glass, so there's a lot of natural light in there. It feels very big on the inside of it. 17.1-inch diagonal display. Does not have Apple CarPlay. It has a Google setup, so you have to, if you're using CarPlay like I do, you got to do a little finagling to get to where you can use all the stuff that you like to use on your phones, your nav and your sound and things like that. But it's also where you're going to see your surround view camera and your convenience controls for the inside of it. There is an 11-inch diagonal driver display as well as a heads-up display, so the driver's got plenty of information being fed to him. Got the rear view camera mirror, and I've come to like that really well. It's got a broader view than you get out of your regular your regular mirror, and it's a lot clearer, generally speaking. Now, it is an EV. It has one single motor with an 85-kilowatt battery, and it will take 150-kilowatt DC fast charge. It's equivalent to 220 horsepower, 236 pound-feet of torque. One-speed transmission. There's really just a direct drive is what it amounts to on a front-wheel drive vehicle. Now, it is rated to tow up to 1,500 pounds. And it has a 319-mile range as far as from the factory. Now, I've learned that I can get about 90% of the factory recommendations when it's new. I also found where Chevrolet goes into several places where the batteries lose 1 to 2% per year of life, so that when you hit the end of the 8-year warranty, you're actually down, that 319 is down to a 271-mile range, and that's just the way life is. Now, I did drive this vehicle 427 miles. I had to charge it a couple of times because of that, and a couple of things I noted on the charging I wanted to point out. When I plugged it into the house, the new system tells me I was adding 2.1 miles per hour of charge.
That's all.
That is it. Yeah. So I've got to the old range anxiety thing kind of changed for me. 6 miles to the grocery store and back. Well, that's not too much as far as range goes, but I started translating, well, that's 3 hours of charge time. Do I need that 6 miles later on in the day to go someplace?
Probably.
Do I have 3 hours to charge it at the house? So it's kind of to me, that's not a very good way to look at it, but I'm sure it is. But I went to a supercharger. It charged real quick. Once you got onto a regular charger, an hour and a half, and it put from 20 to 100%. It is a very heavy vehicle, and therefore, with the taller tires, it drives pretty smooth out on the highway, absorbs a lot of it. It's surprisingly quiet on the road, easy to maneuver in town. I love the one-pedal driving. Base model price is $33,600. The base trim price is the base trim price. The price as tested, $50,540. Now, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 is one you could look at for $42,500, 303-mile range. The Volkswagen ID4, $39,995 with a 275-mile range. And the Mustang Mach-E, $38,490 for across 250-mile range.
Pro-Am Auto. Sorry.
And that's my review, but I really like driving this vehicle. I would like to have the gasoline-powered one a week behind it, just to compare and see how the two run. But if you're looking for an EV, this is one of them you ought to look at.
All right, the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues after this break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge and Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Houston, April 3rd to the 5th at NRG Center. Join us for the fun, fast-paced, high-energy Mecum experience with 1,000 vehicles up for grabs. For avid collectors, first-time buyers, and enthusiasts of all ages, there's something for everyone. Bring home your dream car. Register to bid and buy spectator tickets now at Mecum.com.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.